everyone, this is Lalita ma'am and welcome to my channel Mastermind. So today I have brought the video for class 10th science chapter electricity part 2. In the part 1 of this chapter we have already studied about what is electric charge and what is the SI unit of charge. So in today's class we are going to discuss the topic electric potential. So to understand this concept electric potential, let us try to understand with the help of a diagram. Why this electric potential is important? This is important for the flow of charges, and if there is a flow of charge, there will be electric current. So let us assume a positive charge Q1 kept here. Okay, there is a positive charge Q1. Now as you know, this charge will have some area of influence. So where the area around this charge where its influence can exist or can be experienced, this is that area and which is represented by dotted line. Now outside this area where its influence cannot be experienced, this area, let us call it as infinity. Let us call this region as infinity. Okay. So now if you have another charge Q which is at infinity and you are trying to bring this charge Q to a point A under the area of influence, so some work has to be done. Okay. Now when you are trying to bring the charge Q from infinity to this point, some work need to be done. Okay, and that work which need to be done in bringing the unit charge from infinity to this point, that term, that work, that amount or that term or that physical quantity is known as electric potential. Okay, so electric potential is the amount of work done in bringing the unit charge from infinity to a point. Okay, this is electric potential. Now, what is potential difference? Potential difference is, suppose this is the charge has brought to point A. Now, if the charge has to be moved within this region of influence from point A to point B, means you are trying to move the charge from point A to point B within the region of influence of this charge, then it will experience some repulsive force. So then again work has to be done to overcome that repulsive forces. So this work done in bringing the unit positive charge from one point to the other point, that is known as potential difference. So the charge, the electric potential is denoted by V. It is equal to work done per unit charge. So electric potential or potential difference between 2 points is defined as the amount of work done in bringing a unit positive charge from infinity to a point or in moving from one point to another point. Okay. Now work is a scalar quantity, charge is a scalar quantity. So electric potential is also a scalar quantity. Okay. Now this work has the unit joule. SI unit of work is joule and SI unit of charge is coulomb. So the SI unit of potential difference is joule per coulomb. There is another name for this term, joule per coulomb, and that is known as volt, which is denoted by capital V. So the SI unit of potential difference or electric potential is volt, and the formula for electric potential or potential difference will be V is equal to W by Q. So how can we define electric potential? The amount of work done in bringing a unit charge from infinity to a point, and potential difference will be the amount of work done in moving a charge from one point to the other point within this region of influence. That is known as potential difference. Now, to understand the concept of potential difference, just take the analogy of waterfall. Okay, you might have observed the waterfall. The water always flows from a height, like at a higher level to the lower level. Yes, from higher level to lower level. Similarly, the charges will also be the charges also flow from higher potential to lower potential. If the electric potential between 2 points is same, then there will be no flow of charge. Like if the two levels are same, there will be no flow of water from one point to other, or from this point to this point. In the same way, if you for to maintain or to have a continuous fall of water, the heights must differ. In the same way, if you want continuous flow of charge, so the potential difference must be maintained. So there should always be a difference between the potential of 2 points. Then only there will be a flow of charge, and if there will be a flow of charge, there will be a flow of current. Clear? Okay. Now, this V is equals to W by Q. Now, when the work done is 1 joule and charge is 1 coulomb, then at that time the potential is 1 volt. So, can we say that 1 volt is equal to 1 joule upon 1 coulomb? Yes. Now, 1 volt, the electric potential between 2 points, or the potential difference between 2 points is 1 volt when 1 joule of work is done in moving a charge of 1 coulomb from one point to the other point. This is the definition of 1 volt. This is very important. Okay? So, this is the definition of 1 volt. Now, let us move to our next topic, electric current. So, to understand the concept of electric current, let us take example of two metallic spheres. Now, this metallic spheres, this one is at low potential, and this metallic sphere, it is at high potential. Okay. Now, if you want the charges to move from one metallic sphere to other metallic spheres, then for that, if you connect the two spheres with a metal wire, suppose if you connect the two spheres with a metal wire, then the charges will flow from a body from negative to positive, this low potential to high potential, that is from sphere B to sphere A, and the direction of current will be from A to B. Okay, so the charges will flow from B to A and the direction of current is from A to B. Direction of flow of current is always considered to be the direction opposite to the direction of flow of charges. And as you know that in any metallic body, suppose this is a metallic body, okay, and in this you know that positive and negative both charges are there, but positive charges are fixed to their place, they do not move. Like in atom, as we have already discussed, that atom is electrically neutral and protons and neutrons, they are present in the nucleus, so they are fixed, so they do not move. Only these electrons only move, so the negative charges only move. Okay, so these free electrons, the negative charges, when they move from negative to positive, that is why always it is assumed conventionally the direction of flow of current is assumed from positive to negative terminal in a battery, and the direction of flow of electrons always flow from negative to positive, and direction of flow of current is always to the direction of flow of electrons. So the conventional direction of flow of current is from positive terminal to the negative terminal. This is the conventional direction of flow of current. Okay. Now let us try to understand or let us try to define the term electric current. Now, as in this example, we have discussed that current is due to the flow of charges. Yes, current is due to the flow of charges, and these are the negative charges that they flow. Only negative charges they flow from negative to positive terminal, and the direction of flow of current is from positive to negative terminal. Now, this flow of charges constitute electric current. Now, if any conductor has more number of electrons, free electrons, then from that conductor more current will flow. If there are less number of free electrons, then definitely from it less current will flow. So, ultimately the direction of flow of current depends upon the how many electrons are moving or how many charges are moving. So, more charges, more current, less charges, less current. So, electric current is defined as an electric current through an area is the amount of charge flowing through it per second, or in 1 second how many charges flow through the conductor, that will constitute the current. If more charges flow, more current will be there. If less charges flow, less current will be there. So the formula for the current is represented by I. So I is equal to Q by T. Means from this only you can see, if number of charges are more, Q is for charge, T is for time. So in a unit time, if more number of charges flow, it will constitute more current. If less number of charges flow, it will constitute less current. Because as you know now, like every metal or the conductor, if a conductor has more number of free electrons, then if we can say that it has more charges, so through that more current will flow, and if a conductor has less electrons, through it less current will flow. Okay. Now, SI unit of current is ampere. So SI unit is ampere, which is also denoted by capital A. So 1 ampere can be defined as, if 1 coulomb of charge moves through a wire in 1 second, then it will constitute the current as 1 ampere of current. So 1 ampere of current is produced when 1 coulomb of charge moves through a wire in 1 second. I hope you have understood the concept. If you have liked the video, so please click on the like button and do subscribe to my channel, and please share it with maximum people. Okay. Until then, I'll come up with next video very soon. Until then, bye bye.